Welcome, everybody. My name is Harpinder Kaur Mann. I am a yoga asana meditation teacher based on Tongva and Chumash land. Welcome to the Tejal Yoga community. I teach the Monday class at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. So if you're new to the community or thinking about joining, that's the class that I teach, and I would love to see you back. This month, what we've been exploring in terms of theme is learning to surrender. Oftentimes in life, there's this pull and there's this push of constantly reaching towards something or pushing it away, of wanting things to look a certain way. And it seems like there's always some resistance. In yogic thought and yogic philosophy, this spiritual surrender Sharanagati is this very brave act of letting go, of accepting, of being in the present moment. But it's also tied very closely to Shraddha, also in yogic thought and yogic philosophy, which is faith. It's this faith that life is unfolding exactly as it needs to, and that we are completely supported by the divine, that we are completely and utterly supported by the universe. And how good does it feel to really sink into, in this moment, in every moment, I am always supported, whether it's by seen forces or whether it's by unseen forces, such as divine, universe. And when we can completely trust, then we have that ability to be able to let go, to surrender to the moment, surrender to what's going on. And so our meditation today is going to explore, how do we learn to surrender? How do we learn to anything we're tightly holding on to, wanting, pushing away, resisting, attachments? Maybe you can even imagine you have like a tight clasp with your hands. It's this like, I can trust, and letting it go. It's this softening, the softening of the shoulders, softening of the face. And so that's what we'll be exploring in our meditation. In my Monday meditation class, we always have a check-in. So people always go around, share their name, pronouns, where they're calling in from. And the check-in question is typically, what's your intention for the week? Because there's a number of us today, what I'll have us do is write our name, pronouns, where we're calling in from, and what's your intention for being here today? Could be tied to the theme of learning to surrender. Perhaps there's something else that brought you to be here in this community today. So we'll move into the practice now, into this meditation practice. And so there'll be a couple things that are happening as I'm guiding us through. One, there's going to be that contemplation of surrender. That contemplation of, where are you gripping or holding or expecting or needing or wanting that you can release, that you can trust to release. So there's that contemplation, there's that observation of even noticing in physical body, in energy body, where there might be that grasping, clasping, resistance. But I'm going to invite us to have a point of focus. And so the point of focus is going to be the breath. So we observe, and if it seems like the mind is playing lots of stories, there's a lot going on, I'll invite us to come back to the breath. So two things, there's contemplation happening, but there's also focus on breath as a way to recenter, as a way to return. And so I'll invite us into a more comfortable seat or lying down. For me, since I'm seated on a chair, I come more towards the front third of my chair so that both soles of my feet can press firmly down against the ground. That solid connection. There's length in my spine. I roll my shoulders down and away from the ears. I'm going to rest my hands on top of my thighs. Invitation to close down the eyes or soften the gaze. And as a way to perhaps more fully arrive to ground into this moment, I'll invite us to breathe in through the nose and sigh it out of the mouth 3 times. So if that feels good, I'll invite us to breathe in through the nose and sighing out of the mouth. Letting it go. Once more, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Relaxing the shoulders down. One last time, if it feels good. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Closing the mouth, beginning to breathe in and out of the nose, if that's what's comfortable and natural to you. Beginning to tune in, drop in. Noticing the parts of the body that have contact against the ground, against a chair or a couch, against a wall. Noticing how the length of spine has to support to sit upright. And balancing the head between right and left shoulder, between front and back plane of body. And noticing as you draw your awareness to physical body, in this intention of being alert, but also comfortable. If there is any tension in physical body where you're maybe holding, can you soften and release? Can you soften the shoulders down? Can you soften into the fingers? Can you soften the face, allowing gravity to do its thing? And in this softening, an allowing and inviting of surrender. In this moment, everything is exactly as it needs to be. Nothing needs to be different. A settling, an acceptance. First into physical body. And then with the awareness of the mind, start to draw that awareness to your breath. Notice how breath breathes the body. As you inhale, do you notice an expansion arising? A rising of the belly, a rising of the chest. As you exhale, can you notice a falling, a contraction of the chest, of the belly? Observing what is, without any judgment or criticism. But with a compassionate curiosity to notice, to check in. Hey, what's going on? Not with a need to fix or change, but to be with what is. As our point of concentration for this practice, I'll invite us to find a point on the body where you're able to sense your breath the most. For some, it's the entrance of the nostrils, perhaps sensing as you breathe out through the nose that the air is a little bit warmer than the air that you breathe in through the nose. Perhaps feeling that flow of air on the upper lip. For others, there's a greater ability to sense the breath at the chest. Perhaps noticing as you inhale, chest rising. As you exhale, chest contracting. And then for others, having greatest observation awareness of breath at the belly. As belly rises with every inhale and falls with every exhale. Continuing to stay with breath. If you notice that the mind wanders, beautiful. Observation, awareness has been created. And then gently, with a kindness to oneself, you gently just bring the mind back to the breath. Allowing, inviting yourself to be fully here, fully present with it all. Can you invite in trust? Trust that life is unfolding exactly as it needs to. That you are so supported by seen forces in your life and by unseen forces. Even at times when life might feel confusing, chaotic, unsure. The path might seem hazy. Can you trust that you are being divinely guided and that you are always supported no matter what? Allowing this complete faith as a way to surrender, as a way to, in this moment, to know that you are completely okay with everything as it is. Nothing needs to be different. Nothing needs to be changed or resisted or forced. But a complete surrender to what is. Keep coming back to the breath with that gentleness, with that loving kindness to oneself. I'm going to invite about a minute of silence now, so we can continue to meditate, enter into a state of meditation, but know that I am here, I'm holding the space, I'm watching the time, and I'll gently guide us back when it's time. Going deeper and deeper within to that inner place of steadiness, of ease, of peace, of wisdom, of joy. Anchoring into that exists within you in every single moment. And why we use this practice as a way to remember. how supported we all are, how loved, held in her love. Slowly beginning to ebb back up to the surface of awareness, perhaps deepening the breath, maybe gently moving into the body. We'll seal this practice by bringing hands into Anjali Mudra in front of our chest, thumbs press against the sternum, bowing our heads in gratitude to the blessing of this life, the realities of all the highs and lows, in gratitude to the wisdom of these practices, to all the teachers and practitioners before us who have walked this path, illuminating it so we know we are never alone. In gratitude to ourselves for making this very intentional time, space, energy, and commitment to practice. In gratitude to this land for holding us as we do this good work. And we'll close with the blessing of metta as a way to share the merits of this practice with all beings. May all beings everywhere with no limit be happy, healthy, safe, and at ease. We can bring our hands to the third eye point and bowing down to one another in gratitude for practicing together as a sangha, as a community of practitioners.